Good evening, everybody. My name is Charles Goodger. I'm from London, but I live and have lived in Italy for some years. Very happy to be here and to connect to so many different people and places around the world. I'm really interested in how we can use the interesting relationship, a significant connection between music and language to accelerate, to enhance, to improve the language learning process. So what I'm talking about here is meaning in sound and how the brain processes and filters meaning from sound. And that includes, of course, language and also the emotional power of music. Just a few quick words about myself. I'm, as well as being a teacher trainer and language teacher, course book writer, I'm a musician, and I have spent the last few years creating original songs as presentation vehicles for teachers of English to young learners. I'm going to share my screen with you now. Great. Okay, there's a photograph there of a group of 10-year-olds in a classroom here in Italy, and they are learning and performing a little song about agriculture called Down on the Farm.
Down on the farm, it's milking time. All the cows, they wait in line. The winter air is freezing, lots of hands are squeezing, but the cows are feeling fine. They give us milk for our breakfast, milk for our breakfast, milk to start the day.
You can, if you're interested in hearing some of my songs, you can go onto Spotify, put in Charles Goodger. There's also quite a famous one now by a singer called Albano. You might have heard of Albano and Romina. He recorded a song I wrote recently about Latvia. But the point I want to make is this, that there is this interesting connection between how the brain processes sound, giving meaning to language and giving meaning to music. And so if we as language teachers can find a way of presenting new language chunks, new sounds, new words, vocabulary fields, structures through the medium of songs and music in a way that is captivating and engaging for our students, then perhaps we have a very effective and powerful teaching and learning tool. I'm going to answer that, say that in my experience, this is the case. And if you can see here, you can see a class of young learners. I think that dates back to about 1890. And the world has changed since then. These days, children are not generally expected to be in school uniform like that and to behave with their hands behind the desk. Children these days are far more likely to want to move around, their concentration isn't going to be very long. And so we need to have activities in the classroom that are engaging and fun for the children, but at the same time effective. So this is really what I do. And in this brief talk, I think I still have about, 10 or 15 minutes, I'd like to show you how you, if you're interested in using the power of music and songs, how you can do this yourself without necessarily having to be a musician. Okay, so let me just underline why presenting new language through action songs is such an effective and useful tool? Well, of course, you know, there's children, and here I talk about children, but it can also be used for adults. I've done FunSongs courses at the University of pensioners in Milan, and they had a great time, and they got the CDs for their grandchildren. It can also be used at any age, really. Of course, if you're working with teenagers or tweens, children who are 10, 11, and 12, they are going to be a little reticent to get into doing songs because often they're considered a childish, a babyish activity. It all depends on how you frame the activity, because if you see the photograph there, I mean, those children there in the they're all about 10 or 11, and they're really into it. They love it. And the thing is this, that if you can find a song which the children want to learn and to sing, then you have the basis of a really useful teaching module. And let me show you how you can do this. So these are the reasons why it's a good idea to present language through music, and specifically action songs. Rather than putting the children in front of a video and expecting them to sing along with a song or a cartoon on the video, which is often what happens with language songs. Even in course books, they have videos for the songs. This approach is much more dynamic and involves movement, expression, drama, and these channels in the learner's mind, the activation of a kinesthetic channel of learning, visual symbolism in the gestures, obviously linguistic intelligence, musical intelligence coming together really provide a strong basis for learning. So it is really highly effective. So what I'm going to do is try and show you in the brief time that is left what you can do if you are interested in writing your own songs, your own action songs. You don't necessarily have to be a musician to do this. And I have here with us some students who took part, teacher trainees who took part in a course I ran at the University of Bologna, which encourages me to teach this method as a teacher trainer, who produced a song, and I'm going to show it to you hopefully in a moment. So yeah, the first thing you should do if you are considering the idea of writing your own song is to decide on the theme of the song, what vocabulary area you would like to showcase, to present to your class. So let's take, for example, it could be many different things, but an obvious one for a song in which the children are also moving and expressing themselves is parts of the body. And I'm sure there are some well-known songs, like heads, hand, feet, toes, I think there's one. But really, there are many ideas we can use. I have a song called The Monster March, which teaches 14 parts of the body in 2 minutes, which is a lot of fun. So the first thing to do is to identify a vocabulary area. It could be routines. It could be, I don't know, the relationship between the colors of the rainbow and the tastes of fruit, whatever. Ideally, we need to have a vocabulary area which is relevant to the course, vocabulary in the young learners course. When I talk about young learners, I'm talking about children aged from 5 or 6, even children who haven't started to read and write in English, through to about 9 or 10. This is the target area in which this method, this approach works best. So for the creative teacher who'd like to have a go at writing his or her own song, this is the workflow that I use for the action song modules that we provide. So first of all, choose your vocabulary area. Then you need to write the words, okay? And the words really don't need to be particularly complicated. It's like writing a little poem or a chant. The important thing is that the meter of the words works. And then you need to choreograph the actions, okay? So we need to create suggestive movements, expressive actions which suggest the meanings of the words in the language chunks. So I've called it there, choreographing the actions. Now, the next part is the actual music. Now, if you want to try and write the music, original music for your song, it's not really that difficult, because now teachers and everybody who is interested in being expressive with music can access software and apps which allow you to basically build a song without necessarily having to be a composer. But it's really, there's no real mystique about it. So what I want to do is show you a video. I'm really annoyed that I can't get the sound going. This is a video produced by a guy that taught me how to use a program called Logic Pro. Okay, you may have heard of Logic Pro. It's a really good program. There is another program on Apple which is free, called GarageBand. So if you have an Apple computer, I suggest that you start with GarageBand, which is a kind of younger brother of Logic Pro. And as you gain experience in using GarageBand, you can move on to Logic Pro. Let me see if this works.
To show you how productive you can be in Logic.
Can you hear this? Okay, for some reason it doesn't seem to be coming on, but it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is this, that the programs that you can get, the apps, the software, really are simple to use if you have the motivation and time and will to learn how to use them. I had no idea when I started doing this. I used to, have to spend quite a lot of money going to a recording studio with my ideas just recorded on my phone, and get an experienced studio engineer to record the songs and arrange them and everything. But now it's much easier to do this and much cheaper. So if you are interested in this kind of way of teaching and presenting language, I strongly recommend writing your own action song. So I'm just going to take that away for a second and then go back onto the screen, because I'd like to finish now with a, let me just go back here and open it up again so I can show you the song that my trainee student teachers wrote as an example of a project that we did online. It was all obviously during the pandemic. This is quite recent, in which they, on the basis of this method, produced a song. Just before I do that, can you see my screen? I'm going to share it again now. Let's see, is it here? Yeah. Can you reassure me that you can see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Great. Okay, so let's go here. And yeah, so I'm just summarizing the various stages as we get to the end. I would like to mention the importance of creating worksheets once you have written and recorded your song. These are very important as a follow-up activity. So it's not just teaching the children or your students the action song. You should also engage them in a series of increasingly challenging worksheets so that they are recycling the contents of the song and the words and the themes in different contexts, of course. Here are the audio editing apps that I use in my workflow. GarageBand, which is free. Logic Pro and Adobe Audition is a very good program. Of course, these programs don't come free, but I mean, obviously, you can't expect to get everything free that has a certain value. And these are professional programs. So if you are interested also in doing something professionally, such as getting into writing language songs, you really do need to have the right kind of software. Though GarageBand is free and you can start with that. Let me see if I can show you the video about how Logic Pro is so simple to use. It says unable to play video. Oh, that's great. Gosh, I'm not very lucky, am I? Okay, well, I'm going to go on to the last slide now. And here, hopefully, this is a song which was written by 2 of my students at the university. I really hope you can hear it and see how Gaia, who is one of the co-writers of the song, she's here with us now, interprets the words of the song, the lyrics that she wrote with Filippo through expressive movement.
Today we have to know our feelings. Let's find them in our hearts. This is red, red like shame. Shame when you live apart. This is white, white like fear. Fear when you're in the dark. This is purple, purple like pain. Pain when you are sick. This is green, green like peace. Peace is when you sleep. This is black, black like anger. Anger when you get tricked. Today we have to know our feelings. Let's find them in our hearts. This is just...
Okay, so I think you get the idea there. Just coming up to the end of my session, I would like to underline the fact that if it's you as the teacher who has created a new song for your students, they will be really pleased, and I'm sure they will be happy. Even if your song maybe doesn't live up to the melodic impact of a hit pop song or something that's on YouTube in the course book, or that you find, the fact that it's you as the teacher that has been able to do something really creative and of didactic value for your students gives the whole project a tremendous value. And it's also a form of disruptive technology, which I strongly believe in this heavily controlled world. What do you think, Heike?
Well, the question is, can we simple-minded teachers can we create songs?
Yes.
With these tools that you're proposing, GarageBand or something. But how long does it take to learn this? You know?
Okay, the actual creative process of writing a song can take place in a few minutes. However, what I do with my courses is that I give teachers who are, some of them have never even occurred to them of to try and write a song. But there are 2 ways you can do this. You can either take a famous song, of which there's a karaoke version, and then write your own presentative words and use that, which some of my students did. Or you can try and write your own melody. And with GarageBand and Logic Pro, there are loops that you can import, which actually have little bits of music. And it's not difficult at all. I mean, there are these videos on YouTube which really show you how to do that. And it's a lot of fun, and it's a great creative satisfaction for people to be able to do this.
And if we were, I mean, I was hoping today you would show us this software, but obviously this in 20 minutes is just not possible.
The
thing is, can we book you for a workshop? Is the question.
Of course. Yeah, that's what I do.
Then I invite the whole virtual round table, everybody. I invite them. We'll book you, we'll pay you, whatever it needs. We want to learn how to create songs.
Okay, and everyone, this is a kind of road to Damascus moment for me, because for years I've been doing my own songs and putting myself on a pedestal as a songwriter. But now I realize the world has changed. It's much easier for people to be able to do creative things thanks to the internet and all these wonderful tools than it was a few years ago, much less expensive. Yeah, I mean, to record a song professionally in 1990 would have cost about 15 times more than it does today.
And I'm going to go out and get the VRT song out of the archive and show that to you. Thank you ever so much, Charles. I'm really delighted. And if there's a chance to learn how to create songs, I would be the first one to line up for that one.
Yeah, be very happy. I'll just, I think I have a last slide, if I can just share my final slide on the presentation, which if anybody is interested, you should be able to get the, where is it? Yeah, those are my details there. You can go to the website FunSongs and there's all the contact details there.
I listened on SoundCloud to a number of songs, and it's just so beautiful because the children singing, it's just so adorable. The children, how they sing the songs.
Yeah, they love it. And the thing is, we're not music teachers, we are language teachers harnessing the emotional power of music and mime, rhythm and rhyme to accelerate learning, and that's an important I think distinction to make.